Hello everyone, this is the HappyAnimaidCafeManager here with another walkthrough, blind walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. I forgot to mention that there isn't that much room left on my last SD card, so it ended a little shorter than I had expected. I was in the heat of the moment. So I have to reset. Just to go back. Just to go back to that moment where Phoenix had passed the phone on to Edward. Let me talk to Edward. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edward, catch. Mr. Edward, please, you got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Please wait, Your Honor. Edward. What is it, Mr. Edward? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary test on this piece of paper, evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for the day and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. March 23rd, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Right, well, what's going on with my situation? The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Report. Is that Mr. Edward? We don't have time. Just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? I thought you did ask, pal. I've got these things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get in here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. I'm left by the murderer, Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end it. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. No one can stop. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he was driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, If we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There is a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Right, we're not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess this won't work, huh? Guess it's up to me, alright. I will think of something on my end. Don't get your hopes up too high, but I'll try my best. Did I say something wrong? Edward, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict is Prosecutor Edgeworth. Here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this is not written by Miss Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well. It looks like Miss Impact never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Unguard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Unguard could not have known that. And so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Unguard had no idea that the suicide note was fake, something seems a little wrong with it. See what happens if I back down. It's no use. Something feels wrong, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Mr. Edgeworth, you have stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Corrida's private life. I believe that this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That's it. Yes, it's so naturally. This means Mr. Unguard would have known that the note was a fake. Order. See here, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I was the one who thought of the spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder was like that. Simply, I can't even describe it. Yes, sorry. I could have even bragged about embarrassing Mr. Edgeworth to my grandchild had you not. For that, I assign you a penalty, Mr. Wright. What? If only I'd kept my mouth shut. Man, that was unfair. So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Unguard's motive for murder was. It has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ungard monitored Mr. Correa 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in place of Mr. Ungard that didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why didn't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ugh! Order! Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Ugh! As I figured. Huh? As I figured. It came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand this time. Well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the questions of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness? Yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the killer. Oh, Mr. the killer. Wait! Shelley the killer? You mean the killer? The assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes. Is it alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Very well, then the prosecution calls our witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here, Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what the urgent phone call we got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure if this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? That the defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? about my client. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. That is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only saying the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his client and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me could comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. The trust between you and your clients. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner. That is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients could trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? Oh, no, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That maniacal, it's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try to understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not a therapist, you know. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only way because you don't know about my situation. Doesn't matter to me. Has already broken the rules and acted outside their prescribed role. person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves, and this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human, and that's why you feel you could betray this person. Have no trust relation with the client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think that you could understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, it doesn't matter. Your role. Now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Florida? That person's name is Adrian Andrews. What? Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stab Edgeworth in the back. I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt Ungard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelley the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Ungard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we could actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client, who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No! With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Malingard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, unguarded will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. In unguard my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would have absolved the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley, the killer, is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. In Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife in the button donning the nickel samurai's costume. But that's you even have a motive. You know that. So Miss Celeste Impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No! Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for the Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial to continue. Phoenix, I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Malingard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than unguard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gone unguard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust. I never thought about it until now. I trust him. Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through this witness lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, to be continued, baby.